Hello everyone, welcome back to the bench. Firstly, my apologies for the lack of content update, but life and work and everything has kind of got in the way. Plus I've been doing a build for Models for Heroes, so I think only fair that they should see the photos and the videos first before I put them up for general viewing. However, I did get to a point where it was about to get launched out the window, and I thought, maybe now it's time just to put it down, leave it alone and step away, which is what I've done. And then I thought, well, I might as well do something else just to take my mind off of it. So I thought we would do this one. This is the Tamiya 48th scale Sea Harrier. Now, I know what you're all thinking. Why build this? Why waste your time on what is as agreed within the community as a bit of a pup? Well, let's go back a couple of stages. Colin, Festa 67's workshop, and Mike at Scaly Models, they did a buddy build on these, and I was talking to someone within that community group, and he said to me, how comes you've not done it? I said, I haven't got one, and thinking that I'd dodged the bullet of having to do one. And he said, oh, that's alright, I've got one, I've got a spare one, I'll send it down to you. And oh no. And I kind of tried to say, no, it's alright, it's fine, you don't need to. And he was most insistent. And the person that I'm referring to, yeah, you know who you are, Ross. You are a bad man. you are a very bad man. But I thought he might have forgotten to send the kit because he didn't turn up. And after a couple of 3 days I thought, oh, just maybe, he might have forgot to send it. And then I came home from work the following day and there it was on the doorstep, and I thought, oh dear, it's arrived. So I thought, actually, I'm going to build this. I'm not going to walk away from it. And I thought, right, okay. So I was going to put the resin cockpit in it. I was going to put photo etch on it. And I thought, no, let's do this as a challenge of only what's in the box. And we'll see where we get to. Hopefully it will be something that I can put out for display. That would be nice. However, if it all goes completely Pete Tong and it ends up looking like a right dog's dinner, then so that I can use it as a paint mule and a test mule for weathering and various other bits and pieces. So don't write this kit off, because if it all goes wrong, you can use it as a paint mule or a test mule, because these things, they're only about 15 quid on eBay. So 48 scale kit that gives you something decent, a decent area to work on for doing your testing, it's not bad. Rather spend 15 quid on this and ruin this than maybe one of the models that you're about to work on. So yes, it's a pup, and yes, I'm going to attempt to make a silk purse from a sow's ear. We will see how we get on. So, where am I within the build itself? Well, I've started putting some of the bits and pieces together. Word of caution, the wings are not necessarily as straight as what you think they are. When you put these together, you will find that there will be a bit of a gap around here, around these areas. Well, I say a gap, more like the scaled version of the Grand Canyon, but with a little bit of persuasion and holding it in place for the glue to bite, it will close. It's not a huge problem. Other than that, they're fine. Now, I have started on the cockpit, or lack of cockpit. There isn't an awful lot here, and I'll show you the pilot figure in a minute. I'm hoping that when I paint the figure it will come up and look reasonably decent, because I kind of want to use it, because this seat is awful. It's about as much as I can say. That level of detail that's in this kit or in this cockpit is below minimal. There's not a lot of it. Some careful dry brushing has brought some of it out a little bit, but it's a bit lackluster. So I'm hoping that the pilot will fit, because I've got a couple of sink marks on the back of the seat, so hopefully putting the pilot in will cover those up. Now, talking of the pilot, it's not the best pilot figure I've seen. It's not necessarily the worst pilot figure I've seen. I think Airfix can pretty much claim that one. But hopefully this will come out alright when I've done the paint job, so that he can hide some of the errors on the seat and maybe divert the eye away from everything else. Now, I have worked on this area. When you get the kit itself, there are very faint lines to suggest that these flaps actually exist. All I've done is use some Dymo tape, made up a little stencil, and just gone round and marked them out a little bit deeper. I possibly might go around and make them a little bit deeper, but at the moment they seem to be alright. Now, I think of the two, that's not the better one. I think this no, I've lied. No, this is the better of the two, but not by much. There's not much in it, but they're reasonable. It will, I think by the time you've got some paint on there, it's not going to look as bad. So that's what I've done there. I've put the bombs together. I'm not 100% sure what payload I'm going to do, whether it's going to be something like this or one of the other ones. I haven't quite got that far, but I thought the exercise of just putting them together, and if anything else, I can just use them for practicing putting the seam lines back in again, or the raised panel lines. So that's those. Drop down fuel tanks, same again. Not sure if I'm going to use them, but for the purposes of trying to do some raised panel line deep repair work after sanding, yeah, bit of practice. As for the vents, or the thrust vectors, there's one that I've put some Vallejo filler in. Doesn't look too bad. I think it'll be alright once it's painted, but we're guessing now. But this is what it's like before you get anywhere near paintwork. Needs a slight tidy up and some filler work done there, because yeah, it's a gap too far for putting styrene cement in there. So that's those. So that's, I'm kind of moving through it. I've done the internal paintwork for the cockpit walls. I think once I've got the pilot painted, I can then start looking at putting stuff together. So effectively, this is episode 1, video 1. It's 4 light grey sprues plus 1 clear sprue. The detail's not brilliant, but if anything else, it's going to be a test mule for going forward. Yes, we're not, as I said, we're not going to be putting any resin or photo etching. Although if the pilot doesn't come up to a decent standard, then I might look at a small amount of photo etch to go on here, just to bring this up a little bit. But we'll have to wait and see what happens with the pilot, but that's this afternoon's project after I've done a video edit, so we'll see what happens with that. Other than that, not much else to say, so I will end the video now and simply say thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.